Hi there, this is Danielle Dunlop, and I'm back with another video for Get Crackin' on Christmas, an initiative by Jen Shurkas to create Christmas cards all year long to take off the pressure at the end of the year. And this time I'm making a card with the Thinlits Colorize. I believe this die set is called Toyland. All these dies have a description on the back, and it mentions the color it should be. You do not have to go with these exact colors, but it does help you to color all your different pieces, whether you're using Copic markers like I'm doing in this video, or you can use your distress inks, or you can cut them all out of different colors cardstock. You don't really have to go with the exact same colors, but for example, here it's mentioned a brown 1, a brown 2, and a brown 3, but you could also go with a green in 3 different types of colors. It just really helps you to put your set together. So I'm starting here with the big part of the bag, which is the brown 1, and I decided to just go with mainly the colors that were on the descriptions of the individual dies, because I like these classic colors for Christmas. And this is the base piece of the teddy bear that is going to stick out of the back, and that is going to be in the same brown color. Then I'm going to the second brown color, which is for the second layer of the bag and for the second layer of the teddy bear. Now I'm moving on to the third brown color, and as you can see, I'm just going from dark to light, and I'm using the E40s for these brown colors. Now this is a third piece of the bag and the third layer of the teddy bear. And I'm using E42 for the beige part of the die. Now I'm going on to the patches on the bag, and the die mentioned blue, so I went with this BG72, which is a bit of a vintage blue, like I would call it. Then there's some black, and I'm pretty sure this is the first time I'm using my black marker, but I thought that was perfect for those stitches on those patches and the little pieces on the teddy bear. Then we have 2 green pieces, and I'm using my G46 and G43, and this is gonna put together the gift. Now next is the candy cane, and the background of the candy cane stays white, and I'm using R39, a very dark red for those pieces that go on the candy cane. Now the bow and the ribbon on the present are gonna be all reds, and I started with the darkest one, R37, and every layer on top of that is gonna be a little lighter. So the next one is going to be R35, and then I'm doing the R32. And later on, you will see me switching some colors, because the R35 piece was a little too similar to the R37. So you see me changing that later on to an R39. Now we're going to put all the pieces together, and I'm starting here with the bag. And what I love about these dies is that when you die cut the pieces, it's leaving all kinds of marks on your cardstock, and that will show you right away where to put each piece. Now I'm adding the last detail to the bag. Even though I'm using the Lawn Fawn glue tube, you easily apply too much glue, so you see me wiping off glue with my fingers a lot, so it's not going to get pressed out of there, and I won't have all these glue stains. Now I'm going to put the teddy bear together. So here I'm adding the brown 2 piece to the background of his body. And the same for his face. And I love how it gets so much dimension in your images. And now I'm going to add all the little details to the teddy bear that were all one die cut. So there's an extra piece here for his chest. And these were all the brown 3 color. And there's an extra piece for his arm and for his snout. Now there are 2 teeny tiny pieces from this die cut left. And those are the teddy bear's inner ears. For the die cut that I colored beige, there's an extra detail piece for the snout of the teddy bear and some very tiny pieces, which is going to be his eyebrows. I'm moving on to my next sheet of die cuts, and I'm starting with some of the black pieces. That is the nose of the teddy bear and his eyes. Now I'm going to put together the candy cane. So it's just simply putting all these pieces of R39 on the white background of the candy cane. And this one is really easy too, as there are these marks that the die made on the candy cane. So you know exactly where to place all these red pieces. Now I'm putting together the gift, and I'm placing the lighter green piece on the darker green piece. Again, there's marks on them, so you cannot go wrong at all. And once this part is put together, we're going to build the bow. And I'm starting with that bigger piece that I colored in R37 and place it right on the marks on the gift. And here we're getting to the point where I realized that the R35 was too similar to R37, so it's not really gonna stand out against the background of the bow. So I colored these pieces in R39, the same color as the red on the candy cane. And I like these pieces way better, popping off the background of the bow. And the last part of the gift is the third layer of the bow that I colored with R32. And I love all the dimension it's going to give to this gift. It's so cute. Now we have one little detail in blue, the BG72, to add to the bag. And this is in the same color as the patches that I'm going to add next to the bag. And here's the finishing touch of this cute vintage bag, the stitches. It's hard to see on my black glass mat, but I sort these stitches out already because they're different shapes, different sizes. And with the help of the image on the package, I try to figure out what went where. So it also perfectly fits on the markings that are on these patches where the stitches go. It's time to put all the different elements together, and I'm starting here with the present, and the right bottom corner goes in that little nook there of the bag, and the candy cane goes right next to it. And then the teddy bear, he has his arm hanging over the bag, and that corner goes perfectly there with that little corner in the bag as well. Now I'm going to create the background of my card, and I'm using this Tim Holtz Plaid stencil, and I wanted a Christmassy color, so I went with my Distress Oxide Evergreen Bough, and I tried to have the color a little darker in the left bottom corner of my card. and make it a little lighter towards the right top. And as you also can see, I die cut the base of my card with the Lawn Fawn inside out stitched rectangles, which is my favorite to make any backgrounds. I'm drying this stenciled background properly so I cannot smear any of the ink. And then I'm going to add my sentiment, which is from Lawn Fawn, and I'm placing it at the bottom of the base of my card. And I'm starting here with the part "And a Happy New Year." I'm using black Versafine ink and clear embossing powder, so the black sentiment is going to stand out a little more. This is one of my favorite techniques that I learned from Jen Shirkas to make your black sentiment stand out a little bit. And the best way to do it is not use black embossing powder, but stamp it with black Versafine ink and then use clear embossing powder. And I love the shimmery sentiment it creates. And because this is a card for Get Crackin' on Christmas, an initiative by Jen Shirkas, there has to be glitter on my card, right? So I'm using my Quickie Glue Pen and the Lawn Fawn Prisma glitter. And in good Jen fashion, I'm just gluing it, dipping it in the bucket, and there is no glittery mess at all. I always have a little brush on hand if there's a little spill, so I can just wipe it off, but it's easy peasy, as you can see. Now that all the details are glittered, I'm going to put the image on foam dots, foam squares actually. So it pops off the back of the card. And then we need a final touch with chunky glitter, because that is how Jen is teaching us. I'm using glossy accents to create some sort of a ground where the bag is sitting on. And I'm going to apply some at the bottom edge of the bag. Now my camera cut off, so you didn't see me adding the chunky glitter, but it is right there. And I also added some glossy accents to the stitches and to the nose of the teddy bear. Jen often uses the Sakura black glaze pen. That one is on its way. I ordered it, but for now I'm using glossy accents. I'm using my ATG gun to put the card on a card base, and then my card for this month's Get Crackin' on Christmas is finished. I hope I inspired you to play along with us, and you will be so thankful by the end of the year when you have quite some holiday cards done already. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.